Welcome back to Andersen Acres. We're here checking on my pumpkin, who is turning orange. It is end of August, so he'll be ready to harvest. We had another pumpkin on the vine, but something started eating it, so we pulled it off. Yeah, you never know. I didn't put a fence around them. My bad. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about actually getting your garden started. We've been talking a lot about designing your garden, choosing the colors for your garden, and all that kind of stuff. But I wanted to start talking about what you actually do when you're going to start your garden. Okay, so if you start with good soil and healthy plants, you're going to have some pretty good success. These guys are doing decent, considering I planted them so late in the season. But they're doing pretty well for how late I planted them. Good for me. But if you start with good soil and healthy plants, you will have success. Okay? And personally, I love the beginning stages of a garden. I love the going to the nursery and browsing. I love building our beds, building the garden beds and filling them with soil and getting my hands dirty. I like the bringing the plants home, going to the nursery and picking out the plants and touching all the leaves. I love that part. That is one of my favorite parts of gardening. That's why I'm always starting a new bed, because now I can start again and do it all over again. I love that. So the real trick, though, if you have decent soil, and I'll talk about soil in a later video, but I really want to talk about buying healthy plants while I go up here and check on my peppers. So yes, one of the tricks to having a decent garden is starting with healthy plants. Now, yes, you can start from seed, and personally, I love starting from seed. I have videos where I sprout seeds in paper towels. My seeders sprout leaves in seeds in paper towels in my window, and I love it. Oh, look at my peppers! They're going red. I'm gonna be able to harvest some. And there's a frog. That's our frog. We love our frog. So yes, I really enjoy picking healthy plants, but I love starting from seed. So many of the plants, or at least the varieties of plants you want, are either not going to be available as seed in your area. Yeah, see, we have some bean plants going on here that I planted late in the season for late season beans. That'll be good. Peas. Late season peas. Cat. I wanted to look at the late season peas, man. I just threw these up here because we're actually going to build a border here, but I just wanted something there now. Anyway, so yes, starting from seed is awesome. A lot of stuff you want is not going to be available as a seed start, or it's really difficult to start from seed. Okay, so a lot of the plants you buy are actually going to be cuttings from a previous plant instead of something that was started from seed. We're just going to go over here and check on the trees. So the thing with that is when you have that happen, when you have cuttings, they're easier to grow. But if you don't have the existing plant, you can't do the cuttings. And a lot of times they're really difficult to start from seed. Okay, so a lot of the time you're going to be buying an already established plant, a young plant, but you're still going to be buying an established plant. Like, I would never try to start these lilacs or these blue spruces from seed. That is way more work than I'm actually currently willing to do. Okay? Way more work than I'm willing to do. So, because of that, you're going to end up buying them as plants, as young plants. Okay? And a lot of times, hi buddy, you keep following me, huh? A lot of times, you're not going to be able to find the variety of seed you want anyway. Okay, so a heck of a lot of the time, what's going to happen is you're going to have to buy the plant anyway. But especially when it comes to perennials, like these lilacs are obviously perennials, it's sometimes just easier to buy them as young plants. Okay, that's what we do a lot. Annuals I usually buy seed, but perennials I typically buy as started plants. It's just easier. Okay, so what you want to do is pick a good nursery to start with. Look for a nursery or a garden center that has really quality plants that you can see before you buy. Sorry, it's really early morning right now. See, early morning, sun's just barely up here. It's still very early. But you know, farm life, we're up early, cat. So pick a garden center that you are going to be able to view the plants first. There are some garden centers where you can't, where you go up and you tell them what you want, and they're not going to have what you're looking for up front. They go into the back and they pick your plants and they pack them up and you take them home. Don't buy from a garden center like that. You want to buy from a garden center where you can walk the rows of the greenhouses and you can pick your own plants. You don't want someone picking them for you, because that's how you get those spindly, not really going to grow very well plants. You want some lush plants that are decent, okay? So pick a garden center where you can actually browse, because you do want to be able to see what you're getting before it's packed up for you. Pick a garden center that has knowledgeable staff that offers sound advice, especially if it's a plant you've not planted before. Okay, if I'm buying something I've never planted before, I always ask, what's the best way to plant this? Where should it go? How long can I expect it to live? When does it bloom? I always ask. Yes, you can Google a lot of that stuff, but frankly, I like to ask. It's so much easier to just ask a question. If you're not sure about which garden center or greenhouse you should use, ask for recommendations in your area. So ask other people. You probably have a local Facebook group populated by people who live in your area. So ask. Just ask, what's the best garden center in our area? Where should I shop? Who has the best plants, the best people? I obviously can't tell you that because I don't know where you live. So ask locally. Try to find a location that offers supplies year-round. Okay, not one that's only open seasonally. So try to find something that even in the winter, you can go there and buy winter type supplies. Because in those cases, they're not just pop-ups, they're there all the time. You can really get a lot of good information, and they'll have the supplies you need to winterize your plants. This is my moss bed. I know this doesn't look that impressive, but this is my moss bed. Okay, walking around on the moss. This is awesome. I'm trying to get this moss bed to keep going. See, right now my moss bed, it ends about over here. I want it to go this whole pathway. So yes, I'm encouraging the moss. Removing stuff that competes with moss. Yes, moss bed. We love our moss bed. And there's a rock. No, I'm not taking this rock out. I like this rock. This is fun. We actually kind of live in a quarry area, so rocks are cool. So yeah, that's what I'm doing over here. That's why I'm over here checking my moss bed. I like to be able to walk on moss. It's fun. So that's what we're looking at, is my moss bed. Anyway, so yes, you want to find a garden center that's open year-round, because they'll have the supplies you need to winterize your plants. So maybe you have certain plants that need a burlap sack over them to protect them in the winter. You want one that's open year-round because they have that stuff. They'll bring that stuff in the fall instead of just closing up shop and see you next year kind of thing. Cat. Meow. Yeah. So, always a cat. 2 cats. Meow. Good cats. So yes, garden center that's open all year round is preferable. When you're buying your plants, ask about a replacement or a refund policy. Really reputable garden centers will have a replacement or refund policy on perennials. Not always on annuals. Frankly, annuals are pretty easy to kill. Perennials typically take a little more to destroy, so often you are offered a replacement or a refund guarantee on those, as long as you share pictures and you make sure that you looked after it properly. So if you do go in because your lilac tree died in the first year, usually it's for a year. So if your lilac tree dies in the first year, often you can go in and you can get a replacement lilac tree. But you usually have to show some pictures of where it's planted, and you'll have to answer some questions just so they make sure you just didn't murder it. Okay? Because if you destroyed the tree, you do not get a guarantee on that tree. So expect some questions. It's a little vodka in the window. That's why I'm walking up this way, because I could see his little face. He was taking a nap, and now he's up. Look how big he is. Isn't he cute? Little tiny vodka in the window. He's not napping anymore. Also, my reflection. Fantastic. Anyway, that's why I was walking that way, so you can see vodka in the window. So yes, ask about a replacement or a refund guarantee, because a reputable garden center will offer it. Okay, they will absolutely replace your plant if it dies through no fault of your own. I mean, if you planted a full sun plant in full shade, then you're not going to get that. But yeah, you're not, because you murdered it. But see, we have some stuff almost ready to harvest. We're almost ready to harvest our sunflowers. They're almost there. I know they look like they're dead, but they're not. They're doing their thing. Yeah. So yes, that's what you want to do. You do want to make sure when you're choosing your plants, when you're at the nursery picking your plants out, pick the healthiest, luscious one of the group. Okay, don't pick the spindly guys. The spindly guys are not worth it. If you are going to pick the spindly guys, ask for a discount on them, because the spindly guys are not likely to make it. Like this guy, I actually got a really good discount because I was buying him out of season, but he was nice and lush and pretty, and I don't go for the spindly ones. The spindly ones suck. Okay, no spindly guys here. We do not want spindly guys because they're just not likely to make it. Okay, it's just not going to happen. These guys are doing pretty well too. Planted them late season. Might get something there. There's a funky watermelon growing there. He's all weird, but he's still growing. So, you know, we just go with it. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about today, was picking yourself some healthy plants and making sure there's a guarantee on the perennials you buy. If your garden center doesn't offer a guarantee on those perennials, I would pick another garden center, honestly. Our spruces and our lilacs, as long as we keep our receipt, they are guaranteed for a year. Obviously, we can't guarantee them beyond that, but yeah. I mean, you're not going to get a guarantee on like seed potatoes and stuff like that only last a year. That's not going to happen. But you are going to get a guarantee, or you should get a guarantee, on perennials that are more expensive and that you didn't kill. If you didn't do it, if the plant failed because the plant failed, and that sometimes happens, then it's not your fault. Okay? So yes, that's actually what you absolutely should do. You should, there's a cat in there again. But pick healthy plants. Make sure you get a guarantee on those really expensive trees and other perennials that you're investing money into, because a good garden center, again, does have a policy. Anyway, that is about it for us here today at Andersen Acres. We'll see you tomorrow.